whether you're joining us on Zoom here in the sanctuary, please join us in singing 38, Morning Has Broken. Rise if you're able. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the womb. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the white garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, even someday. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's sweet creation of the new day.
Good morning. And Happy New Year. Whether you're here with us here or with us on Zoom, welcome to our first service of 2023. I'm Roger Jones. I'm one of the ministers at UUSS, and I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy to be here today with our worship associate Celia, our music director Anthony, our pianist Irina, and our technical staff working to make the service audible, visible, and accessible to people near and far. We invite you to explore the ways that we live out our mission, which says we come together to deepen our lives and be a force for healing in the world. If you'd like to follow what's happening today with an order of service, a printed copy is on a table back there, or you can click the link in the Zoom chat. And we also have our blue sheet, which is our weekly calendar of activities and things coming up beyond this coming week. And it's on the back table. There's also a link to that through our website that's in the chat. And one thing on that you will see is that Joanne Anglin's Monday morning conversations to read and reflect on a poem will start up again tomorrow at 10 a.m. here on this Zoom channel, the same one that you attend services by. And also choir practice is Wednesday evening at 7 in this room. Our weekly message comes out on email every Friday, and you can find it on our website. It has news and announcements, invitations to events and volunteer opportunities, and a minister's note. And as you may have read in the minister's note in Friday's message, Reverend Lucy Bunch has been sick this week, and she has tested positive for COVID. She would have loved to have been here today to lead the service on New Year's Day, and especially wanted to lead our New Year's Day Labyrinth meditation out in the meadow and have breakfast with those who did the Labyrinth meditation before the service. This is disappointing for her and for us, and we wish Lucy a speedy recovery. Lucy is with us in the sense that she is the author of the service, which we will enjoy and participate in today. Together, we will strive to let go of whatever might burden our spirits and then begin the new year with intention. If you're participating at home, it would be good to have near you a small bowl with water plus a small towel so that you can participate in the ritual. And if you're here in person, please know this is a service for all ages, and we are a community of all ages. If you're new to UUSS, we're glad you're here. Please fill out a newcomer's card. You can find it on a link in our website, or you can find it at the welcome table after the service, and that will help us connect with you and send you the weekly message. Next Sunday is our monthly tour and newcomers orientation, tour of the campus. And we hope if you would like to learn more about us, that you'll stay after the service. It will last about an hour, and childcare will start before the service and then continue until the orientation is done next Sunday. And today, after the service, on Zoom, we have 12 minutes of conversation in breakout rooms, unless there's not very many of you, and then you'll be in one room together. And here on campus, you can enjoy coffee and refreshments on the covered patio and conversation. Also, the connections table is in the welcome hall. Now it's time to turn your phones to silent mode so that you can start the new year without any distractions or embarrassments. And now let us receive music by Tchaikovsky, entitled January.
Our chalice lighting words this morning come to us from Deborah Burrell. Fire consumes and casts a bright light. May our chalice flame consume our regrets for the past, our fears about the future, and our worries about today. May it light for us a path of joy and peace.
We receive your words or news of joys, sorrows, hopes, prayers through a link that you can find in our weekly message email, or you can call the office before the end of the day on Friday, and they will get your news to Lucy or to me. And we have a number of things to mention. Next Sunday before the service is when we will have candles for you to light and cards for you to fill out for joys and sorrows for that day. So here are some. Our member Kurt Schmidt has written that he is missing his beloved wife, and our member Tony Darling, as the anniversary of her passing approaches in January. And now as the year turns, Kurt celebrates the surprise of new love in his relationship with Julia, a longtime best friend of both of them. And as the old year has ended, naturally on our hearts today are the names and faces of loved ones whom we have lost in this past year or in years prior. And so now let us bring their names into this gathering with us, either here into the sanctuary or at home. Let us lift their names with our voices at this time. Charlie Cast. David Keys. Marvin Running. May our gratitude abide for those who have blessed our lives. And may we extend our condolences to those whose losses are new and those whose grief is complicated. Today we extend our love to our member Frankie Crawford, who is in a convalescent center dealing with pneumonia and congestive heart failure, as well as her ongoing need for kidney dialysis. Also, a recent newcomer to our church has suffered a stroke and is in grave condition in the hospital. Her name is Travis Silcox. We send our love and care to Travis and prayers of comfort to her mother, her husband, and other loved ones. We send healing wishes to Reverend Lucy and all others who are dealing with symptoms of COVID-19, as well as those people who are suffering from symptoms of the flu and RSV and other forms of sickness. As we call to mind any others who need our wishes and prayers for healing or strength or comfort, let our voices bring their names into this gathering. And may they rest and heal and be well. In the wake of the destructive weather in this past week, let us remember those left frustrated and sad by its deadly effects and interruptions of travel. Let us remember those grieving and those fearing the damage of climate chaos in vulnerable parts of the country and the world. May we bear witness to the plight of the people and places most in danger. Also, we bear witness to the call for peace on earth. To the people of Ukraine, we send prayers for freedom from aggression. To the women and girls of Iran and Afghanistan who are suffering repression and resisting it, we send prayers of solidarity, strength, and freedom. And as the year turns, we can find many reasons for gratitude and for hope. For those at the point of a new beginning, we cheer you on. For anyone seeking to find and know the best path, we wish you clarity and courage. And now in this gathering, you are invited to speak the names of the people and places which are held in gratitude, in joy, and in hope. And thank you. Now join me in the spirit of prayer as I offer these words. O Spirit of life, draw near to us with love and with courage, reminding us of the dignity of every person, including ourselves. Draw us together in kindness and patience. Hold us together in respect, humility, and peace. Enliven us to be sources of comfort, generosity, and justice. Renew us to perceive every occasion for gratitude on this day and on every new day. And now let us pause in silence for our own personal prayers and private meditations. Blessed be, and amen.
And gives a hand of thine. Thank you, Anthony. So I have the privilege this morning of reading something written by the Reverend Susan Frederick Gray, who is the president of our beloved Unitarian Universalist Association. Susan writes, "This winter, I have been thinking a lot about this idea of the new year, the image of one year dying and another born, of Father Time dancing upon the old year, of the Roman god Janus with two faces, the god of transitions, thresholds, looking both to the past and to the future. This threshold, marked as it is by our calendars, is an opportunity for reflection and intention. A reminder, if you will, to reset or recalibrate ourselves as we begin a new year. Our most familiar and common celebrations of the New Year's are rituals of revelry and forgetfulness that often turn to gluttony and waste. And yet, what is most needed in times of transitions, of threshold moments, is reflection and mindfulness. Indeed, there are many ways to forget, but a path of spiritual growth, of maturity and wisdom, is one rooted in reflection and intention. The New Year threshold invites us to look back, to acknowledge the joys and the heartbreaks, the unfinished work, the grief, the successes, the new gifts we have received and known this past year. And it invites us to claim our intentions and our hopes for the new year, to recommit ourselves to the work that feeds us, to the lives we hope for, the commitments that need our attention, to plant with intention seeds we hope to see grow in our lives and in our world."
Our next reading is by Unitarian Universalist minister Victoria Safford from her book of 20 years ago, a collection of meditations entitled Walking Toward Morning. And this is a selection from that book entitled Map of the Journey in Progress. Here is where I found my voice and chose to be brave. Here's a place where I forgave someone against my better judgment, and I survived that, and unexpectedly, amazingly, I became wiser. Here's where I was once forgiven and was ready for once in my life to receive forgiveness and to be transformed. And I survived that also. I lived to tell the tale. This is the place where I said no more loudly than I thought I ever could, and everybody stared, but I said no loudly anyway, because I knew it must be said, and those staring settled down into harmless, ineffective grumbling. And over me, they had no power anymore. Here's a time, and here's another, when I laid down my fear and walked right on into it, right up to my neck, into that roiling water. Here's where cruelty taught me something, and here's where I was first astonished by gratuitous compassion and knew it for the miracle it was, the requirement it is. It was a trembling time. And here, much later, is where I returned the blessing clumsily. It wasn't hard, but I was unaccustomed. It cycled round, and as best I could, I sent it back on out, passed the gift along. This circular motion, around and around, has no apparent end. Here's a place, a murky puddle, where I have stumbled more than once and fallen. I don't know yet what to learn there. On this sight, I was outraged, and the rage sustains me still. It clarifies my seeing. And here's where something caught me. A warm breeze in late winter, birdsong in late summer. And here's where I was told that something was wrong with my eyes, that I see the world strangely. And here's where I said, yes, I know. I walk in beauty. Here is where I began to look with my own eyes and listen with my ears and sing my own song, shaky as it is. Here is where, as if by surgeon's knife, my heart was opened up, and here and here and here and here. These are the landmarks of conversion. As we turn toward this new year, we take a final glimpse of the past year and reckon with what it held for us. As you entered the sanctuary this morning, you should have received a small piece of paper, which is called flash paper. It's specially treated paper that evaporates when it comes in contact with fire, leaving no ash or residue. And if you didn't get one, raise your hand, and a greeter will bring them. We have a few hands in the air, Steve and Margot. And Celia will show you how to burn the flash paper. Watch her, because you will be asked to do this. Okay. So you have a piece of paper, or you will be given one shortly. And we invite you to reflect on the year behind you and consider what you might release today, what you might burn so brightly that it changes form and disappears. You may write words on the paper if you choose, but you don't have to. If you do need a pencil or a piece of paper, I think your hands are coming in the air, and if you need a pencil, let's see. Well, they'll figure it out when they ask you. So if you are participating at home or you're watching this at a later time, spend a moment as we do this, meditating with your hands about what you're carrying and what you would like to let go of. So what parts of our lives have become obstacles to our becoming the people we want to be, the people we need to be? What things or ideas, habits, people, or ways of living are holding you back? What is getting in the way of your living as fully as you'd like to? And what might you burn away? What might you release? So if you're here in person, if you would like to write a word or two on the paper, you can. Nobody will see it except you and the flame and the universe. And if you're at home, imagine holding those words in your hands. So here in person, we invite you to bring your paper and line up here on the sides. If you would like to have somebody bring your paper up for you, you're welcome to ask a neighbor to do that. So you'll come up on the sides, and you can light it from the chalice flame or from one of the candles on the side. And you will just light it and then hold it up, and you will release it. And if you prefer, you may give your paper to one of our fire handlers down here, and they will burn it away with a flourish. So one on each side there. And if you're at home, you may use the water that you have to ritually wash your hands in that bowl, washing away whatever you need to release from the past year. Let us begin.
contemplation and renewal. Feel free to remain seated as we bring our voices to the Blessed Spirit of our lives, 86.
Our congregation's mission says, "We come together to deepen our lives and be a force for healing in the world." We live this mission in many ways, including by the practice of generosity, by sharing half of each Sunday's offering with an organization that is working to heal the world. Our community partner for the month of January is the Black Child Legacy Campaign, which is a community-driven movement established to reduce deaths of African American children in Sacramento County. They target 4 issues, including deaths related to prenatal conditions, infant sleep-related deaths, homicide related to child abuse and neglect, and third-party homicide. The programs target 7 neighborhoods, including our local Arden Arcade, as well as Del Paso Heights, North Sacramento, Foothill Farms, North Highlands, Fruitridge, Meadowview, Oak Park, and Valley High. You can find out more at their website. Please give generously in support of this important organization. On the slide, you can see the ways you may contribute electronically or by mailing a check. You can even text a donation right here from your seats or at home. It's posted in the chat box too. Thank you for your generosity. This morning's offering will now be given and received. As the ushers bring forward our gifts, please join me in reciting the unison response. May generosity bless our world. May gratitude nourish our spirits.
Being on that side of the pulpit and watching all of you come down and light the flash paper made me think that you all could be in a magic show. It was fun to watch. Unitarian Universalist minister Scott Prinster has written, "We wander amid the rubble of a world that is always crumbling and rebuilding, carrying hearts inside us that are constantly breaking and renewing. And so we gather to renew our hope and strength for the days and the work that await us. We gather to be attentive, to meet our lives with wakefulness of heart and spirit. We can be open to the brokenness, the suffering, and also be open to the unconditional presence of hope and love that keep our hearts renewing, that plant the seeds for rebuilding." And so it is that the new year is a call not to forgetfulness, but to wakefulness, to alertness, to perceive more clearly and openly the places in ourselves and our world that are broken, full of sorrow. We can be mindful of the renewal that is waiting also. We can embrace the truth of the intentions we seek to hold. There is courage and strength in letting our hearts be broken, yet being renewed by hope. Let us be renewed by the knowledge that we move, live, breathe, and work with others in rebuilding and in renewing. This next reading is by Celia.
It's actually not by Celia. This next reading is from this book by Reverend Victoria Stafford, read by Celia, entitled Walking Towards Morning. You know, we do it every day. Every morning we go out blinking into the glare of our freedom, into the wilderness of work and the world, making maps as we go, looking for some signs that we're on the right path. And on some good days, we walk right out of our oppression, those things that press us down from the outside or, as often, from the inside. We shake off the shackles of fear, prejudice, timidity, close-mindedness, selfishness, self-righteousness, and claim our freedom outright, terrifying as it is, our freedom to be human and humane. Every morning, every day we leave our houses not knowing if it will be for the last time, and we decide what we'll take with us, what we'll carry, how much integrity, how much truth-telling, how much compassion in case we meet someone along the way who may need some, how much arrogance, how much anger, how much humor, how much willingness to change or be changed, to grow and to be grown, how much faith and hope, how much love and gratitude. You pack these with your lunch and your medications and your date book and your papers. Every day we gather what we think we'll need, pick up what we love and all that we so far believe, put on our history, shoulder our experience and memory, take inventory of our blessings, and we start walking toward morning.
So here we are at the turning of the year, and we have remembered and released from the year that is passing away. We turn our faces toward a new year, a new span of days that we will shape with hope and fear and love, as we do every day of every year. To guide our intentions for the year, the three of us will give each of you a card with a single word. There are multiple cards with a variety of words on them. Each card bears only one word, and the word you receive may offer inspiration or guidance to you in this new year. It may be surprising or mundane, challenging or encouraging. It may be all these things at once. This word that you get seemingly randomly will be whatever you make of it. And we suggest that you bring an open mind and an open heart to this ritual. And after you receive this word, we will offer you a blessing for the new year. And if you would like to participate in the room, this is how it will work. We will invite you to come up the center aisle and approach one of the three stations where Celia, Anthony, or I will be waiting, and receive the card with your word and receive a blessing. And then please return to your seat by the aisles. And if you're on Zoom, Colleen will, every few moments, drop a word into the chat, and a series of them, and you could see what word speaks to you, or you could just pick one randomly and then reflect on it for what inspiration or guidance or challenge it might offer you. So let us begin. And if you're with us online, may this new year provide you all that you need to thrive. Our final reading is entitled Blessing for a New Year. It's by John O'Donoghue, an Irish priest and poet. He died in 2008. And this poem refers to a curragh. Curragh is an Irish boat. On the day when the weight deadens on your shoulders and you stumble, may the clay dance to balance you. And when your eyes freeze behind the gray window and the ghost of loss gets into you, may a flock of colors, indigo, red, green, and azure blue, come to awaken you in a meadow of delight. When the canvas frays in the curragh of thought and a stain of ocean blackens beneath you, may there come across the waters a path of yellow moonlight to bring you safely home. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to mind your life.
As we walk toward morning, our senses are awakened, and we sing of it, 298.
Please join me in extinguishing the chalice by reciting these words together. We extinguish this flame, but we carry the light, love, and commitment of this gathering into the days to come.
I invite you to reach out to one another, reach out to us, reach out to those at home, and reach out to us here, reach out to this new day on this new year. May you depart in peace and return in joy. And for all who see God, may God go with you. For all who embrace life, may life return your affection. And for all who seek a right path, may a way be found and the courage to take it step by step, one day at a time. Blessed be.